So I know I haven't uploaded for a while because I just had an in-class exercise that asked us to stop reading for a week and also asked us to record our feelings and thoughts on how this media depression will have on us. And I found it interesting. So I might as well leave some record here as well. So this course is, well, it's an what you might call it. It's not a major course. It's not major required by my department, which I am a computer science major. I don't have to deprive myself of media, but it's a general education course, and it's about media and everyday life. So this experiment, this in-class exercise, is more about us realizing how media is important or how media affects us in our day-to-day lives. So I don't feel like sharing the whole rule book for, like the class because it's going to be boring. But let me just list out the points that I came up and kind of tweaked around this whole week. So, time 1 week, 7 days, and you cannot read. So that means no social media service posts, no Facebook, Instagram, including stories, Reddit, I love Reddit, but no Reddit, Twitter, and the Taiwanese university forum platform called Dcard. That's the ones I used to use day to day. And no news articles. I'm on a Pixel phone, so naturally I'll have Google News on one of the home pages. I cannot swipe there. But watching videos is okay. YouTube, anime, all fine. I find myself watching them a lot actually, but it's okay. So by watching anime, sometimes I cannot escape from subtitles, so I'm just gonna give myself a free pass and just let it be there. Also, on the subject of YouTube, no comment section reading because that is reading. And since we have, everybody should know by now, I like Fake Grand Order. And we always have events, and events have event texts. And event dialogues, I'm gonna say it's okay. But I cannot go into the servant description and servant info because that's like some sort of lengthy reading. I'm just gonna stay off that for 1 week. I noticed that I actually touch there a lot when I am bored and don't have AP for quests. More on that later. And also, messaging is okay because, the pandemic, everybody's locked inside. Normally speaking, you would want to meet people in person, but, the world is like that. You cannot really do stuff like that. So, Messenger, Instagram message, WhatsApp, Line, something really big in Taiwan, we use Line, including Line Notify, which I actually set it up to give me occasional messages, occasional info on what's going on around the world, and that will be okay as well. So chatting with my friends is okay. And lastly, actually not lastly, but the most important thing is that I actually have to apply for graduation school during this week, September 30th until October 7th. It just passed. I used this exact same period to apply for grad school. And obviously, for obvious reasons, that's going to be okay. So, okay for reading, like the application procedures and all those rules and procedures. And well, please let me go to school. So that's gonna be okay. Also, reading emails is fine, and reading our course forum Piazza, that would be fine as well, because do gotta study. But what's not allowed is in-class readings. So if there's an academic reading that professor said you have to do, then this course required us to read it before this week happened. So I done that. Well, actually, I did it because I never read. But let's just take it that let's just treat it as if I've read it. So I read it. Good. Now, so let me pull up my feelings for day to day life. So first day, September 30th, I came up with this solid bullet point ish rules, and I removed most social media service apps from my homepage to not distract me from like accidentally clicking on them, because I am a phone freak. I go on my phone all the time, and subconsciously I may just press apps and open apps and start reading them. And to make up for the time, I started playing a lot of mobile games. Well, more like FGO and some other uh I don't know how to say that. There's a pig app. There's a pig raising app that's just, I don't know, time killing and just those generic boring app, but I started playing that and I spent some time on it. And well, on the first day I actually had to write a bunch of emails because I actually left my tuition to be a little bit overdue, and since I'm in Taiwan, I can't wire the money over to Hong Kong in time. That takes, well, according to school, that would take like 2 weeks. And to be honest, like they were supposed to, well, the moment they released the tuition payment information until the deadline for paying the tuition, it's 2 weeks. So unless I did it on the first day, I cannot wire it in time. So I just wrote a lot of emails explaining this situation. And all in all, I actually got to defer my tuition payment because life issues. I'm in Taiwan, school's in Hong Kong. I cannot pay with Taiwan money. I have to pay in Hong Kong money. Anyways, day 2. So, no, October 1st is actually, wait, no. October 1st is the day I watched ReZero's finale. And I actually had to fight a lot of my urge to go onto Wikipedia for spoilers. Spoiler alert! I actually go on to Wikipedia for spoilers. That's one of my hobby. And to make up for that, I actually rewatched and finished half a season of Astra Lost in Space, or Kanata no Astola, that one. So, oopsie, spent a lot of time watching anime, just like we could. And I researched a lot on graduation school application, then played a lot of Mario Galaxy. Mario, these three All Stars one. Mario Galaxy is the one of the biggest games I had played when I was little, and the only game that I semi 100%ly finished. Semi as in I finished 120 stars with Mario. Never touched Luigi, but 120 nonetheless with Mario. So that's semi 100%. And then I gave myself a free pass for the latest chapter of Kaguya-sama Love is War and Oshinoko, because you gotta give yourself a free pass for Kaguya-sama. I know you guys out there, if you're as weeb as I am, you know you never miss that. Probably. I don't know. But I don't miss that. And on to the third day. I accidentally found myself reading servant description tests in FGO. That's like the first time I noticed myself subconsciously moving on to reading servant texts. So that's like the first time I actually realized that media is so ingrained in me that I cannot just go on and whatchamacallit. It's so ingrained to me that I just cannot that I cannot subconsciously distract myself from it. And it's something that you have to fully focus on not touching in order to not touch it. So like if you don't focus on doing that, you might just see yourself slacking off. Not slacking off, but like subconsciously opening it up and start reading. And I almost scroll down to the comment section after watching YouTube video. Quite sometimes, like almost. I have to stop my finger from scrolling down. That's like really giddy giddy moment. Day 4, Saturday. I actually went to church on Saturday, so I went to church, and I don't read. Maybe Bible verses, but like during sermons. And I played too much Mario Galaxy before I went to church. Sunday, my mom took over my Zoom for a meeting because my computer is the only one in our home that has Zoom meetings on it, and I don't really want my mom to install it on her computer, so I just borrow mine because it's my computer is pretty good, decent, better than those generic notebooks. And researching for grad school takes time, and avoiding articles means relying on Google Maps and image search for data. So I have to research on something else and cannot research on, say, blog posts, cannot research on, say, Reddit. Reddit is a place where you can get some legit info, FYI, or research on some other academic readings, academic writings. And I forgot to mention this, but reading news article, the news title, has become the new trick to get around the rules. So before, I'm like, I cannot read any news, but I find myself watching Taiwanese TV, and most of the time, the TV in Taiwan, we had loads of text and like scrolling text in the bottom, scrolling text on the side, and scrolling text on the other side, and titles and subtitles. That's how Taiwanese TV goes. That's how Taiwanese news TV goes. So I figure if I watch that on TV, I might as well do it when I read in general. So I read the titles, and I found myself knowing most of the content and most of the stuff I need to know by just reading the titles. So there's that. News industry has become so, what you might call it, evolved, that either it is clickbait, which is pretty indicative by reading the title, or it has been really just clear on what it is. There's that. And day 6, on Monday, I finished all 120 stars in Mario Galaxy. That's how much time I spent in that game. And I find myself, then that's the moment I realized that I have grown up in the form of me being way better in some of those harder stars. Like those, like the one where the Luigi purple coin one. I remember when I was little, I was hogging the TV and actually become angry because my family wants me to go eat dinner with them, and I just keep dying in that galaxy. But this time around, I beat it in like 3 tries. So that difference reminds me how grown up I am in hand-eye coordination and video game playing. Also, some other purple coins galaxies. Purple coins is hard. Also, day 6, I realized that I have made peace with not touching SMS social media service platforms for 6 days, and onto day 7, it dawned on me how short this time is, and how much you are able to go by, how easily you're able to go by without, having those addicted thoughts. And at least I had quite some progress on my grad school application. For information, I actually sent my application a couple days earlier, and all is all fine. And if you want to, uh, I don't know, say Gaia or say Gambate, or just give me a hand, comments maybe, I don't know. Just it's done. So I'm just gonna wait for the results. And the last day is the day I started watching How to Train Your Dragon clips on YouTube. So I watched a lot of Toothless. And now that 7 days has passed, I think it's obvious now that I watch a lot of videos and play a lot more games when I'm stopped from reading. So if I don't read, I just find myself playing a lot more games and watch a lot more videos. I cannot say I don't miss articles posted by my friends, but there are ways to curb the need for it. It's short, it's only a week, but there is a way to curb it. If it's longer, I cannot know. But If it's only a week, then we're good. Interestingly, one interesting thing is that it's not that I'm not anxious for, say, not knowing what my friends are up to. I thought I would be anxious not knowing what my friends are up to, but the thing I'm more anxious about is the need to catch up 1 week's worth of stuff. That's the part that's more nervous that I'm more nervous about. So, well, maybe that means that we don't really need so much social media service as we thought we need, and it's more of a, you want to know what's up with your friends and you want to catch up with everyone that you know, the lives of everyone you know, you want to catch up with that, and that has become some sort of addictive pressure that you have yourself. So I don't know. Maybe that's just some thought. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, and I may not agree with that like 2 days later, but that's what I have right now. So that's pretty much for the 1 week exercise, and I actually shared it in class. Well, there's a Dropbox for your feedback for this in class exercise within the class. I already had the class before, so well, I definitely slipped more than a few times and gave myself some free pass on games, a graduate school application, and of course Kaguya-sama. However, generally speaking, I did stay up reading for the duration of the exercise. And if you want to call it a success, no success split, I say it's a success. I wonder if I did it correctly though, because truth be told, when I'm doing this exercise, I cannot go back and read the official rules because that's an article. That's like, I cannot read the article, so I don't know if I did it right. But I'm just gonna make up my own rules that mostly resembles the in-class exercise rules and say that I did it because that's what we do stuff, or that's what I do stuff. I don't know if you do that, but I don't know if you do that this way, but that's how I did it. Anyways, that's it for the in-class exercise, and that's what I've been up to this week. I applied for grad school, I did this in-class exercise, and I took classes. Well, the world is probably still a mess, and I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's okay. I don't know. I'm just sharing my life here, and I will do my best to try, I don't know, keeping up with this YouTube thing because I don't know. Not that many people read it, watch it, but I did it for myself. So I'm here to leave records, and records here it is. Now, bye bye.